Today in crypto. A lucky Dallas Mavericks fan just won $100,000 in Bitcoin in a National Basketball Association (NBA) shootout event. Voyager Digital Limited, 1A, U.S.-based publicly traded cryptocurrency platform, sponsored the event. The crypto company recently partnered with the Dallas-based basketball team. Voyager Digital joins the growing number of crypto exchanges looking to enter the sports industry. The platform currently has over 2 million registered users with access to trade over 60 digital assets. Dallas Mavericks fan Isaiah Stone won $100,000 in Bitcoin after making a series of shots in an NBA event. According to the basketball team, this is the largest ever amount for a non-court promotion. Stone completed all stages of the challenge including a free throw, a three-pointer, and a half-court field goal. The NBA team partnered with Voyager some days ago. To kick off the partnership, the crypto platform offered a crypto bonus to new users. Dallas Mavericks fans received a $100 Bitcoin bonus to sign up and trade crypto on Voyager. Bobby Kurla, digital content manager for the Dallas Mavericks, also announced the news on Wednesday. Mark Cuban, the owner of the professional basketball team, is well known in the crypto world. He is also a Dogecoin advocate. The meme coin became part of the Dallas Mavericks payment options in March, thereby making them the first NBA team to start accepting Doge payments. Related reading: Mark Cuban's NBA team runs store scheme to reward fans paying with Dogecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Cuban is also constantly promoting the use of Dogecoin and other cryptocurrencies on the team's website with different incentives. On Wednesday, October 27, Voyager Digital Limited entered into a 5-year exclusive, integrated partnership with the Dallas Mavericks. Consequently, it became the team's first cryptocurrency brokerage and international partner. According to the announcement, the partnership enables both parties to reach a wider global audience to raise brand awareness and also drive cryptocurrency adoption around the world. Speaking on the partnership, Mark Cuban said, "Crypto assets and applications are changing how business and personal finance are done. We believe our partnership with Voyager will allow Mavs and NBA fans to learn more about Voyager and how they can earn more from Voyager's platform than from traditional financial applications." CEO and co-founder of Voyager Steve Ehrlich also expressed his excitement about the partnership with the Dallas Mavericks. "This partnership gives us the opportunity to educate people all over the world on ways to use crypto in their everyday lives. We want to help people learn alternate ways to grow their wealth, to achieve true financial freedom and build intergenerational wealth through crypto. We found a great partner to do this within the Mavs and their owner, Mark Cuban, who is already deeply involved in the space." Voyager will have the right to name the Mavs Gaming Hub, the official gaming and event venue for the Mavs NBA 2K League team. Over the past few months, crypto exchanges have been making headlines for their partnerships with NBA teams. Earlier this month, Coinbase signed a multi-year partnership with the NBA. The exchange wants to grow the crypto economy through the exposure that the NBA provides. Related reading: Coinbase secures NBA's first ever league crypto deal in June. FTX signed a $135 million deal for the naming rights to the Miami Heat Stadium. Non-fungible tokens, NFTs, and the marketplaces they trade on have been the talk of the cryptoverse for a while now. Even amid the peak of the bull run, the hype for NFTs is not decreasing. It is arguable to say that the traction they are gaining is at an all-time high right now and continues to climb higher. The NFT industry generated $10.67 billion in trading volumes during Q3 of this year, marking a 704% increase from Q2. According to a report by DappRadar. Out of this, blockchain networks Ethereum and Ronin accounted for 77, 73% and 19, 53% of the numbers, respectively. Continue reading on Cointelegraph. It all started with mining Bitcoin, BTC, in a dorm room. What started as a hobby with a few mining rigs scaled into 20 industry-scale mining farms across the globe. Because we scaled our operations in a new industry, we had to discover what worked and what didn't through trial and error, because there's no handbook for this. Building a multi-site, scaled operation like ours isn't easy, but if you're looking to start your mining operations, scale what you have, or invest in a mining company, Here are the 7 biggest lessons we learned to help you navigate your next moves. Marco Streng is the CEO and a co-founder of Genesis Group and Genesis Mining, one of the largest crypto mining companies in the world. Prior to co-founding Genesis in 2013 and becoming an impassioned advocate for blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies, Marco studied mathematics at the Ludwig Maximilian University of Munich. Continue reading on Cointelegraph. The Bitcoin white paper only has 9 pages, yet it contained enough to change the world. Here's how it came to be 13 years ago. The 13th birthday of the Bitcoin, BTC, white paper has crept up just as the world continues to deal with a global pandemic, inflation fears, an astounding memecoin mania trend and growing institutional adoption of the cryptocurrency space. On October 31, 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto released the Bitcoin white paper to a cryptography mailing list hosted by Metsto. The Metsto mailing list was run by a group of cypherpunks and was filled with ideas meant to create a form of digital currency. Some of these have even been cited in the Bitcoin white paper. Satoshi's white paper came in a message titled Bitcoin Peer-to-Peer e-cash paper, in which Nakamoto explained that his digital currency is fully peer-to-peer, and requires no trusted third party for a transaction to occur. Through a peer-to-peer network, Bitcoin solved the double spending problem. Bitcoin also allowed network participants to remain anonymous and was secured through a proof-of-work (POW) consensus algorithm. At the time, the white paper wasn't received the way people would expect it to be. Knowing what they know today, only a handful of people saw Nakamoto's email and replied with their thoughts and concerns surrounding Bitcoin. Speaking to Cointelegraph, Leo Matchett, co-founder and CEO of Decentralized Pictures, a non-profit organization supporting independent filmmakers, said that the Bitcoin white paper is the genesis of a new era in monetary sovereignty, adding, "Satoshi stood on the shoulders of giants and solved problems that those who came before could not." Matchett opined further that the white paper was truly the beginning of a new era for monetary systems of the world because it brought forth the idea that decentralization has more value than centralization. Indeed, the idea of Bitcoin attempted to solve numerous problems including counterfeiting, steep on-ramps and counterparty risk. After the white paper was shared on the cryptography mailing list, slowly but surely, discussions surrounding the document started growing, with the Bitcoin network being launched in early 2009. At that time, Hal Finney, a cypherpunk that worked with the PGP Corporation developing leading encryption products, was already involved. Hal Finney is well known in the cryptocurrency space for being involved in the first Bitcoin transaction and being the first person after Nakamoto to run a copy of the network through a node. After setting it up, Finney tweeted he was running Bitcoin. The cypherpunk, who tragically passed away in 2014 as a result of ALS complications and had his body cryopreserved by the Alcor Life Extension Foundation, described his work with Satoshi in a forum post where he revealed he started mining BTC on block 70-something, and that after some correspondence, Satoshi sent him 10 BTC to test whether the network worked. At the time, there was no demand for space on the blockchain, so the transaction was successfully processed with a 0 BTC fee attached to it. The 10 BTC were worthless at the time, but the transaction helped fix some bugs in BTC's early days. That first Bitcoin transaction made it clear that the network worked, and while there was still a lot of work to be done to get where it is today, it was a first step in the right direction. A year later, in 2010, the first commercial Bitcoin transaction would occur. On May 18, 2010, developer Laszlo Hanias created a post on the Bitcoin Talk forum offering 10,000 Bitcoin for a couple of pizzas. Hanias offered to pay another forum member the coins if they got him 2 large pizzas, which could even be homemade. The post was met with skepticism, as 10,000 BTC at the time weren't worth the cost of 2 pizzas, or were anywhere near it. Only on May 22, after a follow-up, did Hanias report that he successfully traded 10,000 bitcoins for a pizza. At the time and despite Bitcoin's low value and the community's small size, one user noted that a great milestone was reached. That day is now known in the cryptocurrency community as the Bitcoin Pizza Day. The first commercial Bitcoin transaction led to the creation of an ecosystem now worth over $2 trillion and proved that Bitcoin has a number of use cases that need to be considered. For the first time ever, Bitcoin was used as a true medium of exchange. The cryptocurrency's price would rise over time, partly because of adoption and partly because of speculators looking to profit off of its incredible volatility. In the midst of all that, new businesses were created in what ended up becoming a large asset class. Speaking to Cointelegraph, Miha Gurkar, head of global business development at cryptocurrency exchange Kraken, said, "No one could have predicted the tidal wave of change unleashed by the publication of a 9-page PDF. The Bitcoin white paper," Gurkar said, "laid out a vision for a digital currency that can be used as a store of value and medium of exchange independent of centralized control." Per his words, the potential it has hasn't been fully unleashed. Bitcoin, he said, instigated a paradigm shift that now underpins a multi-trillion-dollar industry and showed the world there was a better way where sovereignty, finance and individual freedoms all coexist outside the clutches of corrupt outdated socio-economic systems ridden with insiders, cronies and backroom deals. As understood from the first commercial Bitcoin transaction, BTC's value hasn't always been clear. The cryptocurrency has gone through substantial crashes in its history and has been declared dead over 400 times by popular media outlets and analysts. Bitcoin's market cap is now above $1.16 trillion, according to Cointelegraph Markets Pro. While most wish they could have heard about the cryptocurrency in 2010 or 2011 to invest in it and build up wealth through that investment, most would have likely failed to see how big BTC would get. Early Bitcoin investor Greg Shane published, in May 2011, a now famous tweet where he showed regret for selling 1,700 BTC for $0.30, after getting them when the cryptocurrency was trading at $0.06, as he could have sold his coins at $8 apiece. As one BTC is now trading above $61,000. His 1,700 BTC would now be worth over $104 million. A pity indeed. I wish I had kept my 1,700 BTC at $0.06 instead of selling them at $0.30, now that they're $8.00. #Bitcoin. Bitcoin's rise has been supported by a thriving industry filled with innovation that has already seen cryptocurrency exchanges start trading on the Nasdaq exchange and by institutional investors who recognize that BTC can be used to diversify their portfolios and hedge against inflation. Earlier this year, El Salvador became the first country in the world to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender, with the country's Bitcoin law officially coming into effect on September 7. El Salvadorans can use the cryptocurrency through a wallet called Chivo launched by the government that uses the Lightning Network, a Layer 2 scaling solution. Speaking to Cointelegraph, Javier Mauro, chief product officer at Latin American cryptocurrency exchange Bitso, noted that El Salvador's move was rooted in hope for a better future for El Salvadorans, and its success will depend on the spread of cryptocurrency-related knowledge in the country. Earlier in October, the first Bitcoin exchange-traded fund, ETF, was launched in the United States. The ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF began trading under the ticker BITO on the New York Stock Exchange. It became the second most heavily traded fund on record in its debut. In a statement sent to Cointelegraph, Ron Levy, CEO and co-founder of blockchain consulting firm The Crypto Company, stated that the Bitcoin white paper laid the groundwork for what would become a decentralized industry beyond what anyone thought was possible. The next leap in this space, he said, are clear laws and regulations around what can and can't be done with cryptocurrency. But, it's obviously not clear how that may turn out, as all new technological breakthroughs face resistance from established mechanisms. Brittany Loughlin, executive director at the Stacks Foundation, which bridges decentralized finance, DeFi, and the Bitcoin network, told Cointelegraph that Bitcoin has come a long way from just being a store of value, as it's now possible to build smart contracts on Bitcoin, welcoming the millions of BTC holders to the world of DeFi, NFTs and true ownership. Notably, Satoshi Nakamoto seemingly predicted that additional blockchains could use tokens, which they call domain objects at the time, to represent ownership of assets. Satoshi's example was for a token representing the right to own a domain for a year. Finny, Satoshi, are you endorsing the idea that additional blockchains would each create their own flavor of coins, which would trade with bitcoins on exchanges? Satoshi, right. Domain objects, domain coins, could represent the right to own a domain for a year. pic.twitter.com/zbov65 PS as Gurkar said, humankind has only begun scratching the surface of what Bitcoin and blockchain technology are capable of. So much so, that the developments we have today were seemingly thought of by Bitcoin's creator, Satoshi Nakamoto. The Bitcoin white paper has made the idea of a decentralized network viable and proved that even a short 9-page document was able to change the world in ways so radical they may be hard to comprehend even at this point in time. While it isn't clear whether more countries will adopt BTC as legal tender in the future, or whether interest for Bitcoin ETFs will wane, it appears clear that Bitcoin is here to stay and serve as both a store of value and medium of exchange, and that's only 13 years after the idea was first introduced. Imagine what will happen in the next 13 years. Bitcoin, BTC, is ready to rally again as BTC price action flips bullish on crucial time frames, trading platform Decentrader says. In its latest market update on October 29, the firm predicted incoming fresh upside for Bitcoin, which has languished below old all-time highs this week. Continue reading on Cointelegraph. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.